to One Girl in All the World, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch podcast where we recap each episode in order and discuss. I'm Ashley, Buffy superfan.
Kimmy, Buffy newbie.
You can find us on all major podcast apps, YouTube, and Instagram with new episodes on Tuesdays. Okay, we are so close.
This was quite the episode.
Yeah, so episode 19, Choices.
There's a lot going on.
A lot going on, yeah. Except for
a lot of choices.
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of randomly thinking about how you're saying, like, okay, this is like a palate cleanser. This is like a filler episode, like, whenever we get to those. But, like, and I was like, you don't get, like, how they made TV in, like, the 90s and then, like, the most of the early 2000s was, like, you got these, like, 20 to, like, 24, Buffy's always 22, like, episode seasons. Now you get like 10 is the max.
Yeah.
I feel like they take all of those that don't move the plot forward because we just don't have the attention span anymore.
You're right. We don't.
I think for 22 episodes.
I don't want 22 episodes on air. Yeah, I don't want it anymore.
Yeah. So that's how they were still making TV back then. So that's why I think there was like so many like standalone episodes and we just don't have those anymore.
No,
like,
you're right. I like it. I like nowadays that it's 10 is the sweet spot. And also I kind of like if after 10 episodes, they kind of make it so that maybe they'll continue or maybe they won't. And I can decide if I want to continue or not.
Mm-hmm. Like you can stop watching if you feel like it. And
Seems like wrapped up. We just finished a show last night, The After Party. Have you heard of that one?
No, actually.
Okay. It took me like 4 episodes to get into it. Kay was way more into it than me. So I was just like, okay. And then so in episode 4, I was just like, okay, this is okay. This is not bad. And then, we wrapped it up and, apparently they're making a season 2 and we were both like, meh.
Yeah. That, Yeah, so that's why I was like, we just don't really make TV like this anymore with all these episodes. So, but we're done with the filler episodes.
I see that now.
For this season. We only have 3 left. I hope so. I hope we're done with the standalone episodes. Yeah, so, okay. Choices, the original air date was May 4th, 1999. So we're obviously coming back from September.
Oh, right,
when Earshot was aired, and we're back in like the normal season now. Written by David Fury and directed by James A. Contner. And the synopsis is, since Faith's return to the dark side seems to have put the provincial kibosh on Buffy's chances of ever getting out of Sunnydale to go away to college, Buffy decides to launch an offensive and shut down the mayor's plans for Ascension. Meanwhile, plans for the future are order of the day as Willow tries to decide among a bevy of college acceptances. Xander prepares to hit the road on a Kurak-inspired adventure, and Buffy and Angel refuse to face the insurmountable obstacles to a successful life together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a lot there. Okay, so we get a Previously On, and it is basically Faith's whole backstory. These Previously Ons get a little bit heavy-handed at the end of the season.
It was quite the recap. It was a huge recap. I was like, okay.
Yeah, because we're, only have 3 episodes left. There's a lot.
Well, and I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like we're wrapping up Faith's character. We'll see, but I have a feeling.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so it's most of the Previously On was all about Faith, really. So we open the episode in the mayor's office, and the mayor is giving Faith a gift.
But not just because.
With strings attached.
Yeah, strings attached.
And cookies. Don't forget. He is giving her cookies. I think those were just like for the sake of it. But the gift is for taking a little pickup at the airport. Just a little, like, very, very important thing that she needs to pick up at the airport.
He needs it for the Ascension.
Yeah. And what he gives her is like a really kind of ornate knife.
Like a weapon. It's a weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
A shiny new weapon.
Yeah, it's like a dagger. And it is pretty, like, it's not bejeweled or anything like that, but like the metal work is pretty ornate on it, I would say. Yeah. So it is pretty cool looking weapon.
Yeah, it is.
And it looks very Faith, and she's very happy with it. I said, what does he give her? A big knife. So yeah, that's the perfect gift for Faith.
Your baby friend.
Yeah, so she has this little errand that she needs to run in exchange. So in the graveyard, yay, we're not in the playground. I was like, yes.
Yeah, we moved over.
We're venturing out. Yeah. In the graveyard, Buffy and Angel are just doing their run of the mill, patrolling with vampires. So just the run of the mill vampires. And they're kind of fighting. They fight. They do the thing. They stake them. And Buffy's kind of like, do you feel like we're in a rut?
Yeah.
Like, just, we do this, this is what we do every night.
She's
We
like,
go to the vamp, we just
do
go
you
to, like,
think, do you think we'll be doing this until I'm 50?
she's like, this is how we're going to spend our nights when I'm 50 and you're
The same age
exactly
as
the
you are
same
now.
age you are now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, and so he's like, we went to that, like, demon cave by the beach. I thought that was a nice change of pace
God.
to go kill that demon. Yeah, so they're having some growing pains for sure, I think.
Well,
And yeah, and
in
she's
all
questioning
fairness
their
for him,
future.
he's like, let's just get you to 50.
Yeah, and she's like, "What's our like future look like? Like, is
Yeah.
this all we're gonna do? We just patrol at night, kill things, and that's it, you know?" But yeah, then they hear more vampires in the
Yep.
distance, and he says, "Well, let's just get you to 50." And so that kind of stops that conversation for now. And
Doesn't
we go,
seem so bad, honestly. I
yeah.
don't know.
So we go to the credits. We come back and we're at Buffy's house, and Joyce found Buffy's acceptance letter to Northwestern.
Northwestern. I
Yeah,
was wrong.
yeah.
Yes.
You had a good
Okay.
guess though. I wouldn't if I had no foreknowledge of this show. I wouldn't have guessed. I would have guessed somewhere
Yeah.
in California. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So fair guess. Yeah,
And
Joyce is so
she's
happy.
so happy. She's over the moon. She's really proud of Buffy.
Yeah, and I think it
She's
also.
really
Go ahead.
hammering to the point that Buffy has choices, which Buffy doesn't really feel like she does. Yeah.
Yeah, and basically Joyce is really happy. Like, okay, this is out of Sunnydale, so
Yeah.
you can like have a chance to have a life, other than the secret duty. And Buffy's hesitant because, like you
Yeah.
said, like she doesn't feel like she really has a choice.
No.
Especially like it said in the synopsis, with when Faith was around and Faith was good, if Faith was ever really good. Um, but there was options for maybe more for Buffy to leave and
Yeah.
go to college and take a break from slaying and stuff. But
But
now
no.
Buffy's trying to tell her mom, I can't leave, but she really is just like, okay, I can't choose right now. She doesn't want to let her mom down.
Yeah, of course.
So she kind of just says, I need to think about like we don't hear about any other schools that Buffy gets into at this point, but obviously she has more than one option.
Yeah.
She says she needs to sleep on it. So in the quad, Principal Snyder is looking for drugs, and he comes over and empties out a kid's,
Lunch bag.
yeah, like their brown
Paper bag.
bag lunch, yeah, and just lunch. And he thought there was
It
drugs
is
in there.
lunch.
Yeah,
It's just lunch.
it's just lunch. So he's like, okay. He leaves, but he's looking for drugs. He's on the prowl, thinking all these kids are up to dealing drugs. And yeah, so it's Oz, Willow, Buffy, and Xander are just near those guys that were being inspected for their lack of drugs, and talking about how Buffy's saying now that Faith is bad, she's stuck.
Yeah,
Because
she
whatever
says
happens,
she can't go to Northwestern, but she mentioned she also got into UC Sunnydale. It's funny, I've never heard of that school.
yeah, because it's not real. Yeah, so University of California Sunnydale is there. Obviously, it's in Sunnydale, and she's like, "Yep, that's just me. I guess I'm just stuck. I'm just stuck here. I'm a Sunnydale girl." And she says that later, but yeah, she's just kind of coming to terms that she's gonna have to stay in Sunnydale.
Yeah.
And we find out that Willow got into Oxford.
Damn, Willow.
Yeah, doing really well with all of her acceptances. We find even more that she gets into, but
Later
right
on,
now,
yeah,
yeah, we hear right now it's Oxford.
Oxford's pretty impressive. And
Yes.
Xander's gonna travel. He's gonna take a gap year.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna last forever, probably. Yeah.
I mean, you're probably right, but I do think more students should take gap years. I think it's a lot of pressure to decide at 17 what you want to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see if it's a gap year or if it's a I'm done with education forever thing.
Yeah.
For Xander.
And that could be, and that's fine. It's not for everybody.
Yeah. So Xander's hitting the road. He's reading On the Road by Jack Kerouac. And we also find so Cordelia comes over just to be nasty. Like I am just
So snotty.
at this point, it's like, why are you even on this show?
She just comes in to be snotty.
Yeah, like when she was part of the group and she was actually friends with these people and she was dating Xander, she had a purpose. She literally just comes in, gets a few snarky words,
Well, the little scene at the end
and takes off. Yeah.
captured my attention, so I'm curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, something else is going on with her. But yeah, she's kind of just being mean to Xander, and she's being mean to Willow about all the good schools she got into.
Yeah.
So Willow also got into MIT, Yale, and Harvard. So there's really nowhere that Willow didn't get into.
Yeah, she can go wherever she wants. And
Yeah.
she's like especially snotty to Xander, of course, saying that the conversation is reserved for people with a future.
She says it to Buffy, though. She says that to Buffy.
Oh, she said it to Buffy. Whoops.
Yeah, which is even more like, what did Buffy do? Buffy's just sitting there,
So
doing
mean.
nothing. Yeah, she actually said it to. I was like, she just comes over to be a bitch. So yeah, Buffy still feels very stuck, and I think what Cordelia kind of said to her like hit her, like the people that have a future. So it goes in the library. She's trying to talk Wesley and Giles into letting her leave and go to college. Yeah. She's like, if I can deal with this ascension and the mayor, and if that all works out, then maybe you guys can just keep a lid on things here, and I can come home every breaks, and I can take on whatever I need to, and maybe we can make it work. So she's like the convinced. Idea? Yeah, really. So she's really trying to convince them to try to come up with some kind of compromise where she can still go to college and leave Sunnydale.
Wesley is really not on board with this at all, but
but he does say, yeah, he does say if circumstances were different, maybe, like, yeah, which is interesting. Giles is so happy for her when Buffy tells him that she got into Northwestern.
Yeah, of course he is. He's like
so sweet,
like a dad figure.
Yeah, he's like, oh, my daughter got into Northwestern.
Exactly. Yeah,
so happy.
And then I feel like during this scene too, like Buffy's like, okay, we need to stop waiting. Let's just take the fight to the mayor and like let's stop waiting for this.
Yeah, I think she's like, if they're kind of like, she has hope that if she can take care of this issue, this problem, that they'll be more open to like letting her go. So she's like, okay, well, I need to take control of the situation and get rid of this threat so I can have a life. Yeah. So she wants to take the fight to the mayor instead of waiting for the ascension. They know when it is, and it's just getting closer and closer, and they're not getting any closer to like stopping it.
Yeah.
And Giles was like, okay, well, what's your plan? Because he agrees with her. And she's like, oh, I have to have a plan? And he's like, well, I figure we should like find out what they're up to. She's like, yeah, I'll do that. I thought you meant like with maps and stuff. So she's like, yeah, we're going to find out what they're up to. And so she's determined now. And she's going out to like spy and see what they're up to. At the airport, we see this guy, who we assume is a human, has this box. He's getting off a little like plane.
Like a Cessna type thing, yeah.
And he's going over to deliver it to one of the mayor's like lackeys. And he says, like, hey, where's the mayor? He was supposed to be here personally. He's supposed to pay me. And the vampire's kind of like, well, I'm picking it up. And he doesn't like that, the guy. Yeah. But it doesn't matter because Faith is in the background and just basically shoots an arrow in his back. And kills him.
She's like unhinged.
She is unhinged. So she jumps down, comes over, and the vampire seems like he's like, whoa, he wasn't in on this plan, it doesn't seem.
No.
And the guy had the box handcuffs to him. So she's like, look,
can't find the handcuff keys.
There's no keys.
It was smart to think of that.
There's no keys. So she brings out that new dagger, that shiny new dagger that she has. And the vampire, he's like kind of dumb. He's like, that won't cut through metal. And she's like,
it'll cut through bone though.
Yeah. So she just hacks the guy's hand off and takes the whole box. It takes a whole new meaning to the 5-finger discount.
Oh my God.
Because she just hacked his arm off and didn't have to pay him. His hand off. So at City Hall, Buffy is hiding in the bushes, waiting to see, just doing some reconnaissance.
What's going on?
Yeah, and sees Faith arrive with the box and carries this big box into City Hall. And so we follow kind of Faith in, and she gives the box to the mayor. And he's like so excited that like, oh my gosh, like you killed this guy. I didn't have to pay him and I still got it. Like you were so resourceful. He's like just praising her. And he says, I don't know what's wrong with like Angel, like why he didn't like you.
Oh yeah.
And also like if Buffy was here and wanted to be our team, I'd say no, thank you. And she just gets like, you can tell she's conflicted about bringing them up. It still bothers her.
I think
it's about it.
I thought it was a sore spot for her. I thought she's still angry about it.
Yeah, there's conflict going on there. Yeah, something's definitely going on there. So he's like, okay, like, we won't talk about that because like, see, it bothers you. And she goes to open the box, and he's like, don't open it. Yeah, no. Don't open the box. So something dangerous is in there. And outside, we see that the guy that was originally at the airport that probably drove Faith to the town hall or city hall, she grabs him.
Yep.
And she abducts him.
So she's like, what's in the box?
What's in the box? And then it cuts right to the library where she's like, it's the box of Gavrock. So she got the information out of him. It's something the mayor...
energy.
Yeah, his demonic energy. Something the mayor needs to ingest, I think is maybe the word they use.
Chow down on.
Chow down on it. And then she says, really all she could get out of him. Before she says, his violent tendencies made me introduce him to Mr. Pointy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's all she could get out before she just had to kill him. And if we remember, Mr. Pointy is Kendra's steak that she gave to Buffy.
Right, yeah.
So that's her favorite steak. Yeah, and so they're come up with a plan of how they're going to get the box. So the box is because Buffy, I guess, did more reconnaissance. So she knows it's being held in a conference room.
Right.
There was a skylight above it. So Buffy and Angel are going to go through the skylight to get the box. And, of course, everyone's like, yep, great, let's go. Like, Willow's going to work on a spell to destroy the box when it comes back because they can't just hide it. They need to destroy it. And Wesley's like, wait, what about... And he actually has a point eventually when he's like, hey, you can't just go in there and grab it. Like, there's going to be mystical barriers around it. And he's like, didn't think about that, did you? Score 1 point for Wesley. And so Willow's going to go with them and do a little mojo over the skylight to get rid of the magical like barriers of the box. And I was watching this episode. In this whole episode, Willow and Wes do talk a little bit, and it's just so funny because we talked about this off camera where that those two are married in real life.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And have 2 daughters, and it's like this is where they met. So like this is so cute. Like I don't know, like the behind the scenes of them liking each other and stuff. It's so cute. All right, so at Maple Court / the store, I believe we'll confirm this going on later on, but it's called April Fool. So Xander is going to get the ingredients for the spell to destroy the box.
And he sees Cordelia looking at dresses.
Yeah, and he's like, ooh, yay, I get to have another fight with this person. Like, why don't he just go on with his life? I don't know why. These two are just whatever. So he goes into the store and, like, you know, just starts, like, being mean to her.
Goading her, basically.
And
like,
saying...
He assumes she didn't get in anywhere, which I thought was stupid of him, actually.
Yeah, because we've seen, like, Cordelia in the past take like school seriously. She has a lot of extracurriculars. Like she seems like a well-rounded student. She's a bitch.
Yeah.
She's a bitch, but she's a good student. Mm-hmm. So I didn't for once think she didn't get in anywhere. And before he asked her when they were in the quad, like, where'd you get in? She's like, none of your business. And he's like, oh, maybe she didn't get in anywhere. But she immediately tells him she got into USC, Columbia, Duke, Colorado State. And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, those are all really good schools.
They are really good schools.
Well, I guess they liked your dad's money.
Yeah, wow, Xander.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so she's like, ouch, you know, and he leaves. So that's the extent of that. At the city hall that night, the gang all arrives in a van, and Wesley and Giles drop off Willow and Angel and Buffy. So Angel, Willow, Buffy go onto the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting ready. Buffy is putting on this, like, harness because she's going to be lowered through the skylight. And at the library, Oz and Xander are working on getting the spell all ready to destroy the box.
The potion.
Yeah, because Willow wrote out all the instructions for them. And they have an actual cauldron there, which we really don't see often for a show that has so much witchcraft in it. But, and yeah, Willow wrote everything down. And like when Xander's like, yeah, she really wrote it down for us. Like, there's even stick figures of us. He's like, but I don't know which one's which. And I was like, well, I'm the one with the little guitar.
Yeah, so cute.
Yeah. So they're going to work on that together. Again, weird. They've never, always talking to each other. Have never had a conversation about the Willow Xander thing. I just think it's so strange.
Yep.
But yeah, okay. So on the roof / the room at City Hall, Willow does like a spell and we see like a magical kind of barrier kind of dissipate over the box.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, you need to get out of here now. Like, it's not safe. So Willow leaves. And then Angel lowers Buffy down on a pulley system on the harness. She grabs the box, and as soon as she lifts it up, an alarm goes off.
Obviously.
And of all the vampires run in, she's kind of stuck there.
Oh, because, the contraption to get her back up, it jammed.
And she's like, Angel, pull me up. Pull me up. He's like, it's jammed. And the vampires are there. So he jumps down, and they start fighting, and Buffy's kind of stuck a little bit, but she eventually just pulls the harness off and can fight. So they're all fighting vampires, and they're kind of trading. They're trying to keep an eye on the box, and eventually they turn a table over on the vampires. They have the box, and they run out into the hallway. Yeah. And they run outside, they hide in the bushes, and we see that Giles and Wesley make a diversion and drive off really fast. So the vampires think they jumped in the van and chased them, so that Buffy and Angel can get away with the box. So we go into the conference room, and it's trash, of course. And the mayor is like, well, I just had this place remodeled. And blah, 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 blah. And he seems to be kind of just like mildly annoyed. But then he actually gets mad.
And then he yells, and they got my box.
Yeah. And this is the first time we've actually seen him really angry.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Because he's so like strangely
calm.
Like
he must meditate.
Chipper. Yeah, I know, for real. Can I have what he's having?
Yeah.
And he's like, great, they have my box. And then Faye shows up in the doorway with Willow and a knife to her throat, saying, well, but we have this.
Yeah.
So good bargaining chip. In the library, everyone's there, and they realize, yeah, Willow's not there.
Yeah.
So Willow's missing.
Buffy's angry. Buffy's as angry as the mayor is about his missing box.
Yeah, everyone thought she was with everyone else.
Yeah. So
they didn't realize they all got back together, and Willow's not there.
And Buffy says the only course of action would be to trade the box for Willow. And Wesley's like, no. You would sacrifice 1,000 lives for the life of one.
Mm-hmm.
You'd sacrifice the lives of your friends and families. Like, this box has to be destroyed.
Yeah, they argue about it for quite a while. About like what they should do. They should give the box back. And they're still arguing over it when Oz he doesn't say anything this whole time. Yeah. He just gets up and he like knocks over the cauldron. He just knocks it over in anger. And that I guess is his input into the argument. So they're going to, Buffy says to call the mayor, set up a meeting so they can switch out. They can do the trade. Okay, at City Hall, Willow is locked in a room. She's trying to find a way out, and she's making a lot of ruckus. So a vampire, I guess that's supposed to be guarding her, comes in. And he's like, hey, I can bite you. Like, he's not going to kill you. I'm just going to take a taste. And we see Willow levitate a pencil behind him and stake him.
That's pretty impressive. I didn't realize her powers were growing so much.
Yeah, because remember, we saw her like moving around the pencil a while ago.
That, yeah.
But now she's actually using it
to stake vampires?
To stake them, yeah. That's a good stake. That was a good staking with the pencil, the floating pencil. I'll have to remember that one. So he's staked and the door's open. So she runs out into the hallway and sneaks into the mayor's office because she's trying to avoid Faith and the mayor because she kind of hears them.
His creepy cupboard.
Yeah, his creepy cupboard that has like the bones and all of the weird kind of occult stuff that we've seen him use time to time. And she finds like a hidden latch and it opens and there's the Books of Ascension. Yeah. So she's hit the mother lode. Nice, and instead of being like, okay, I know where they are, I'm going to close this and get out of here, she just starts reading them.
Comfy and
gets comfy.
Them out. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, starts just leafing through them, no problem.
She would have been able to escape at that point.
Yeah, because she knows where they are, and they wouldn't know that she knows where they are.
She could have escaped. She could have got away, and they could have destroyed the box in this time frame. But whatever. Anyway.
Good point, yeah. But after a while, Faith catches her looking through them.
And she says now she knows too much.
Yeah, she's like, well, now what we're going to do, now we're going to have to kill you. And Faith and Willow have a pretty important, showdown in this moment.
They do. Yeah. I didn't write all of it down, but at one point...
there's a lot.
Willow says something... but she says something to Faith it's way too late now.
Yeah, well, Faith says, oh, what? Are you going to tell me it's not too late? We can still be friends, and, there's not too late for me. And Willow's like, no, it's way too late.
And then Faith's reaction, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, Willow is really brave in this moment.
Yeah, she is.
Because we know Willow's always had a problem with Faith. Yeah. Stealing, in her mind, stealing Xander.
Yeah.
Stealing her friends and just, inserting herself. And, yeah. And then she threw it all away because she had, the support of everyone. So, yeah, they have a really, intense interaction here. And Faith really just all she can do is, hit Willow.
And she does. She punches her.
Yeah, because she's like, you hurt me, I hurt you back. So, obviously, the things that Willow was saying were hitting close to home for Faith. And the mayor has to break them up.
Yeah.
He's like, girls, stop it. So she has to, and he's like, hey, I got a really interesting call. So obviously, but like whoever, Giles has called the mayor and he's agreed to the trade.
Yeah.
So in the cafeteria at the school, the gang is like preparing the room for the mayor and everybody to show up.
Trying to lock it down.
Yeah, they only want one entrance. They want one way in and one way out, so there's no surprises. And the power goes out, which kind of takes away some of their like home turf advantage, I would say. And the mayor comes in they have Faith and Willow, the box, and I think are there some vampires with them, or is it just them? I don't think there are vampires with them. But right away, the mayor starts baiting Angel and Buffy about their relationship.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of future do you have? Like, she's a blossoming girl. Like, she's a future ahead of her. And is that what you came back to hell for? For, like just having some kind of, like, half relationship with her in the dark? Like, well, she's immortal. I mean, you're immortal and she's not. And he kind of says that I married my wife in 2003. I'm guessing 1903. I don't know.
1903, yeah.
And, yeah, and she, got old. He didn't, and it wasn't pretty picture.
Yeah.
It wasn't a nice experience for either of them with him staying young. And he's like, this is going to happen to you guys. And it, because first go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it kind of starts out with the mayor saying, like, I don't know why, like, it didn't work out with you and my Faith.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And then Angel's all like, I guess I just like him sane. And Faith's reaction to that was priceless.
Yeah, she does not like that. But yeah, then the mayor kind of like goes on attack with Buffy and Angel. So they're like, okay, let's do the trade. They do the trade, but somebody busts the moment there, and Snyder with a few security guards come in.
Yeah, why did he?
Because he's on this drug kick, so he sees something going down in the cafeteria. He's like, they're dealing drugs. So he comes in and he thinks he's caught them all.
Yeah.
And the mayor is kind of like in the shadows at this point, but he comes out and Snyder's like, oh, Mr. Mayor, I didn't know like you were involved. So he kind of like backs away.
Yeah.
I was kind of going to be like, never mind, because we know that Snyder knows about the mayor, as he's mentioned several times. And one of the security guards opens the box.
Yeah.
And before anybody can stop him.
And this huge, creepy spider thing?
Yeah, I would say it's a spider.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it attacks his face and it kills him.
Yeah, it kills
and
the
then they
security
can't bite
guard.
it.
Yeah, and it kind of skitters off. I think two get out initially. And then one jumps. They're all like, where is it? Where is it? Because the mayor Snyder had also locked that one entrance. So they're locked in there with the thing. And the other security guard tries to like open the door, and Giles is like, no, we can't let this thing like escape. We have to find it. It's like, don't unlock the door. And it jumps on the mayor's face and like attacks him like in the same way it attacked the security guard.
Faith saves him though.
Yeah, Faith like gets it off of him, and you can see he has like all these like cuts, like where it was like, I don't know what it was doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he starts healing because we know nothing can hurt him. So he starts healing.
And then another one jumps out of the box.
Yeah, it jumps on Buffy's back. And she basically just throws herself against the floor and squashes it.
Yeah.
Squashes it again on the floor. And then we see one crawling up the wall behind Wesley. And Faith just throws her brand new knife dagger and impales it and sticks it to the wall. And basically Buffy runs to the box. So the box is like open a little bit, and she like slams it shut, and like some of the little like legs are trying to come out.
Ugh,
and it like cuts the legs off, and like little legs fall on the ground.
So gross.
Yeah. So he takes the box. They're gonna leave. Faith has to leave the knife. She's hesitant to leave the knife because I think it actually does mean a lot to her that he gave her that. So she's looking back at the knife, like she has to leave it. And he says there's like a lot more where this came from in this box. There's a lot of spiders in this box.
That doesn't sound like a good thing.
So he's basically like, you're going to let us go, like, or I'm going to open this. So they leave, and they get Willow back.
And then Principal Smider's like, why can't you be dealing drugs like normal people?
Yeah, he's like got a chair, like he's like a bullfighter, and he's got like his chair. He's like all scared. Yeah, he's like, God, why can't you guys be dealing drugs like normal people? In the library, Willow kind of recounts her whole showdown with Faith to Buffy. She's like, and then she said that, and then I said, oh yeah, and like, she's like, I was scared. But then she pulled out her knife, and that was scary. But yeah, I told her this, I told her that, and I was like, that's great. But were you able to see anything useful in the books? You held the books of attention. Like, did you get anything?
And then at first she acts like she didn't get much out of them. She's just like, yeah, like I read them.
I didn't have much time.
Yeah.
I didn't have much time. And to be honest, they were kind of like involved, overwritten, if you ask me. But I was able to get these pages. She ripped out some pages and gave them to Giles, and Giles is like, kid at Christmas. Like,
yeah, he really was.
Ooh! We just ran away with his little pages.
And then Wesley likes to point out that they are right back where they started.
He's like, you better hope there's something in those pages, because otherwise we are right back where we started.
Yeah.
Which is not a untrue statement.
No, but they have Willow.
Yeah, but they had her before. If they hadn't done the thing.
That's true.
I think the moral of that mission was kind of like Buffy was doing it for not the wrong reasons, but she was motivated by trying to like get herself something.
Yeah.
At the end of it.
Yeah.
And it just didn't turn
out.
Yeah. So luckily they came out maybe a little bit. Yeah, at least even. She's lucky. Yeah. So in the quad, Buffy accepts that she is staying in Sunnydale.
I like that you say accepts. I wrote the word resigned.
Yeah. Yeah. Hesitantly.
I like that though.
No, you are. I think yours is more accurate. Like, she is resigned. She is. She's not happy about it.
Yeah.
But I think she's just finally put the hope to bed.
Yeah.
Because we've seen her over and over be like, well, I can try. And like, maybe I can. And then Faith came and then there was hope for that. And then, all this stuff. And now she just has put it to bed, I think.
Yep.
So yeah, so she says like, I'm a Sunnydale girl. And so she's going to go to UC Sunnydale.
Oh.
And then Willow says that she is going to stay and also go to UC Sunnydale.
Shocked me because she could go to Oxford or wherever else she wants to go. So that's true friendship right there. Damn.
Yeah, and then Buffy is extremely excited at first, but then she's like, wait.
You can't do that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, there are better schools, way better schools.
Yeah.
Especially for the ones that Willow's going to get into. And she's like, it's not. So UC Sunnydale is a pretty good school, and like I can make my own curriculum and everything. And Buffy says there are safer towns, there are safer prisons. Like, it's not a safe place to just stay.
Yeah.
And Willow says, when I was facing down with Faith, it kind of made things clear. Like, I know, like, I've helped you over the years do this, like, fight against evil, but it's something that's what I want to do with my life.
Yeah, she wants to fight evil and help people.
Yeah, she wants to help people. And obviously, this is the place to do it. And she also says, like, if I'm going to, like, really get into, like, witchcraft, like, that is also the place to do it. Yeah, this is where she's going to learn. Yep. And she's like, I love you, but this isn't really about you, which I'm glad was said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we know Willow can be very... Like, she can be like people pleasing, like doormatish, whatever. Maybe that isn't a mean term, but she can't be that way. So I like that they made it clear. She's like, I love you and everything, but this is about me.
Yeah.
Like, this is a decision that I want to make. So I'm really glad they made that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just like walk away talking about, it's like you think some things are like one way and they're really another, and they're going to go get like coffees or something, some like sugary coffees. Okay. Mochas.
Yes.
And then that kind of ties into what happens next at April Fool, where we see Cordelia looking at a beautiful dress. She's at that store again. And then we see the
owner, manager, and
come
she tells
in.
Cordelia to sweep and clear out the storage room.
Yeah.
What?
Before your break. Or your break's already over. Like, you need to. So Cordelia is working.
That's strange to me.
Yeah, working at April Fool. In the graveyard, Buffy and Angel kind of talk her college plans. She seems like she's like getting excited about it. She's like, Willow and I are going to go look at the campus. Hopefully I can live on campus. And trying to make the best of it. And she does not want to live at home with her mom. And she's like, either way, I will be close to you.
Yeah, which is a bonus.
Mm-hmm. And they start talking about what the mayor had said to them.
Yeah.
And you can definitely see they unconfidently try to reassure each other about their relationship.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, they're not feeling, there's a lot of doubt there.
Yeah.
What the mayor said.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no, we're going to be fine, right? Absolutely. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? No, he doesn't. And then they just kind of like worriedly stare off into the distance.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot going through their minds. Like, they're trying to reassure each other.
Yeah.
But they're like, ooh.
But for now, this is okay.
Yeah. She's like, we're gonna be okay, right? Yep. And they kind of like, it hit a sore spot.
Yeah.
It was like, shit. Maybe there's something to what he's saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of ends on that like a bit uncomfortable, like doubting note. Yeah, so that's the end of the episode. A kind of strange feeling end.
Yeah.
So my favorite quote was, "Why can't you be dealing drugs like normal people?" When Principal Snyder says that, I just thought that was a great line.
That was a great line, yes.
And then my favorite scene was definitely the Faith and Willow showdown.
Mm-hmm.
Like that had been a long time coming, I think. And it's a real. This is actually a pretty important episode for Willow. She stands up to Faith.
Yeah.
She survives on her own. She gets herself out of the city hall. She stakes the vampire. She's like totally self-sufficient in this episode. She's doing spells. She was ready to do the dark magic on the box.
Yeah.
And she decides like what she wants to do with her life and makes a decision that about going to school that most people would think she is crazy.
Yeah.
To give all the opportunities.
To give up a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is a very important Willow episode, actually.
Yeah. My favorite line is when they're in the school cafeteria and the mayor is asking Angel, "Oh, I wonder why things didn't work out with you and Faith." And Angel's like, "I guess I just like him sane."
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that.
Angel doesn't always have the wittiest lines, but that was a good one.
That was such a good one.
Yeah.
That's so good. And then favorite scene. Probably the same as yours, actually. I thought that was like a really important scene.
Yeah, it was definitely the strongest, I think.
Yeah.
So the stake rating I gave it was 4.8.
Ooh.
It really moved the plot along, which those ones tend to score higher, which is just because this is where we're coming from now, from 2024 as media consumers, I feel like.
Yeah.
Basically what I just said before about Willow. I said it's a strong Willow episode because of what I just said, which is not like totally obvious right away. I think you have to like think about it a little bit to realize this was almost like a Willow episode.
Yeah.
It is interesting how they are kind of exposing the underbelly issues of Angel and Buffy's relationship, not just like the sex thing or like the one true moment of happiness thing, but like all
the long-term thing.
The long-term things, yeah.
That's a
which
big
Angel
thing.
Brought up like right in the beginning of them like starting to like each other and everything. He right away he was like, "What about A, B, and C?" And she's like, "I don't care." So yeah, with her starting like graduating and like starting college and everything, those are all being brought up again.
Yeah.
And then I thought the spiders were pretty creepy.
They were so creepy. Oh my god.
They were pretty good. They were chill inducing. So I thought they were well done. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you with that. I'm not even scared of spiders, but those totally creeped me out. I was like, what the yeah. They freaked me out too. I gave it a 4.5. And yeah. A lot of what you said about with Willow. Yeah. She had a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
I especially like the part where she had the opportunity to escape the mayor's office, but she took her time with the Books of Ascension because she knew that was going to be helpful. So she really risked her freedom really for that.
Yeah, that's a good point because when we talked about before, we're like, she could have just got out, dummy.
Yeah.
But she was her being brave, I guess.
Yeah.
Being like, I can't let this opportunity pass me by. It's right here. So
exactly.
that's the way I didn't look at it. That's true though.
Yeah.
It does kind of like make more sense of the episode overall. Good point. All right, so yeah, that is choices. All right, so the next episode, the
Season
prom,
3, episode 20.
the prom,
The prom.
which is Sarah Michelle Gellar's favorite episode.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Huh.
Who does Xander go to prom with?
Okay, so I'm thinking Willow and Oz probably go together. And Faith probably doesn't go. And I guess that leaves Buffy, but like, I don't know. I don't know if Angel's gonna go because like maybe vampires don't go to prom. Um, I'm wondering if they're gonna sneak Cordelia back in.
Hmm.
I don't think it's Buffy. I'm gonna actually say Cordelia.
Okay. Stranger things have happened with those two. Okay. Will Xander and Cordelia go to prom together? Tune in next week to find out. All right. So that wraps up season 3, episode 19 choices. Again, you can find us on all major podcast apps and YouTube and Instagram at One Girl in All the World Pod. You can also email us at onegirlpod@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next week with season 3, episode 20, The Prom. Slay you real soon.
Bye.